it's me, Sammy. Then it's Friday, so I'm bringing you a video today. And today's video is 13 things that you should know about being in love with a service member. Whether he or she is in the Navy, the Army, the Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, National Guard, anything. I think these are pretty good things that you should probably know before dating somebody. And there's some things that I'm like, wish I knew that before I got into this relationship. But if I look down a lot in this video, it's because my computer is sitting right here and I have all 13 things laid out because I didn't want to forget anything. Because I think some of these things are like super important, and if I forgot them, I would just be like, are you kidding me? So yeah, I'm just going to jump right in and I'll kind of explain some of the things as I go along. So yeah. So number one, is at some point you will be long distance. Maybe you are now, or maybe you're not. Maybe you guys are married and he just went into the whatever branch of the military he decided to go into, and you guys are living together and stuff, but eventually one day he probably will get deployed or go on like training in different states or just things like that, where you will spend at least a few weeks, if not months or a year apart. And it's hard. It is hard, but you just need to realize and appreciate the time that you have together in the moment. And so I know personally a lot of people in my life aren't in long distance relationships, and I see things that they take for granted every day, and I'm like, if I had, my fiance here, like, I would be enjoying it, but they don't get that like we do. So that's just something though that when you are long distance, because it will happen, just appreciate the time that you have when you're together. And I'm sorry if you hear dogs barking in the background. I'm at my dad's house dog sitting, and the dogs bark at their own shadows. They bark at everything. So sorry if you hear that like in the background. But anyways, number two is communication is key. Like, I cannot say this enough, and people always say this, but in a long distance military relationship especially, like, communication is the most important thing ever, because you don't get to see your significant other face to face every day. And so if you are Skyping, texting, Snapchatting, talking on the phone, whatever it is, you need to make sure that you are clear in what you say, and that if there's something bothering you, you just get it right off your chest, because they can't see you unless you're on Skype or something, but still, like, they don't know exactly how you're feeling, or they don't see you moping around the house every day because you're mad at them because they didn't do the laundry, or different things if you were together all the time. And so communication is a huge thing. And I know for me, that actually really took a toll on my relationship when I first started dating my now fiance, Zach. We actually had a breakup because we just couldn't get across what we wanted to say. And I know a lot of times texting is something that, like, really, communication can just get completely lost. And you could think someone's mad at you and they're not at all. Or you could think someone's not mad at you and they're really, really pissed at you. Or you have no idea. So you really just need to pretty much flat out say, hey, I'm mad at you and this is why. But that's just like a huge thing, especially when you're long distance or you're in a military relationship where you may only get to talk a few times a week if he's deployed, or maybe once a month, or, who knows how long. And so you really just need to get everything you need to say out there and really say it how you mean it and explain yourselves. So communication is key. Number three is your significant other is extremely busy. And I think this stands for most people, because I know for me, like, my fiance has a lot of downtime too. He does, like, sit around and play video games and stuff, but when he's working and he's busy and he doesn't have time to text me back, or he can't answer his phone or stuff like that. And I know there's situations where people will go on like a weekend duty type thing where it's like a 24-hour thing, or like, my fiance sometimes he has his weekend and he has to work all weekend if they call him in, and so it's like, I don't get to talk to you that much. And I've had some girls like message me or just talking with like friends or other people who are in a relationship with someone in the military, and they are always like, oh, like, he doesn't text me back all the time or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, been through that. I get it. And when you're new to it, it's hard. You don't understand. You're like, why? Like, I can text him when I'm at work. Why can't you? And it's like, it's different. It's a government-based thing that they're doing, and it's just a lot harder to be like on your phone all the time. And so yeah, they're just busy. They have weekend things, they have deployments, they have a lot of things. So if they don't get back to your text message right away, or they don't, get back to you right away, it's not that they're ignoring you, it's not that they hate you, it's not that they don't love you anymore, but they're just busy, So on to that, number 4 is don't make plans too far in advance because things always change. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't make plans too far in advance because you will be disappointed when, you had a vacation planned and you have to cancel it because, oh, he's getting deployed. Great. Or, oh, because now they're having him go to this training thing. Or, oh, he has to work the weekend duty and you were supposed to go on a weekend getaway, So, it's just a lot of things happen and change. And same with, don't get too attached to oh, we're moving to this place. Don't get too attached to that because that could change too. Yeah, I know I'm moving to Panama City, Florida in May, and I have no idea how long I'm going to be there for. And so if they tell us oh, we're going to this place next, it's cool, that's where we're going. But a month later, before we leave, they could be oh, just kidding, we're actually going to send you here. And it's oh, okay. So just don't get too attached to plans or to things like that because sometimes stuff happens. I know I ain't ever planning a date on a Friday night because my man always gets stuck at work on Fridays and I'm not even about to disappoint myself. So that's just, yeah, it's just life. It's the military life. What do you do? Nothing. Number 5 is your education may take the back seat or just be completely delayed or just not even there anymore. And I know that to be true for me and for one of the other girls who does this channel, Allie, that I'm sure you've seen her videos. She has to pretty much wait to do what she wants to do because of her husband being in the military. And same for me. I want to go and become an esthetician, which is facials and waxing and all skincare stuff that I love. But unfortunately where I'm going to be at, there's not a school that offers that. And so I can't do it. I'm there's just nothing you can do. And so it's hard, but you just kind of have to go with it. Just find a job, make money while you can. And when the opportunity comes and you can go back to school or whatever, take it. And if you guys get moved out of the country and you're almost finished, I guess it is what it is. So yeah, that's the other thing is if you live out of the country, I mean, you could probably do some online schooling, but some degrees, there's only so much you can do online. And so, yeah, it's just sometimes it may take the back seat, it may get delayed, it may not go as planned. And I know for some people that's super frustrating. For me, it works out kind of good because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I just figured it out. And then now I'm kind of oh, never mind, I can't even do that. But it happens and you figure it out. Eventually you get to do it. Eventually, even if you're 38 years old, you can still go back to school and you can get that degree and you can rock it, girl. So even if you have to wait 20 years for when they're out, you can do it. Okay, so number 6 is you need to be flexible. And I'm not talking about bendy, stretchy. I'm talking about moving and the schedule change thing and making new friends and finding a new job every time you move. You need to be flexible. And I know it's hard because you do get attached to the friends you have. You do get attached to maybe a job, or I'm so terrified my phone's about to fall when people are texting me. I'm sorry. And that's why I'm anyways, so you will move every few years and it is hard because you may get attached to a house you love, or you may get attached to the town you love, or people, or anything. You may love that place so much, and you gotta go, you gotta move. And I know for me, I've talked to Zach, I'm like, hey, like, what are you thinking, like, in, 18 years when you're out? Like, would you want to live somewhere that we fell in love with? Or, like, do you want to go back home to, like, Chicago? Or, like, what are you thinking? And he's totally open to going, if we find somewhere we absolutely love, and we make so many friends, he's totally open to going back to that place and just living our lives out there. Which isn't the case for everybody. Some people are like, okay, I've been in this long enough and want to go back home to my family, where you're like, you grew up and your parents are and whatever, which is awesome. But you just got to be flexible with whatever comes your way. It's hard to say goodbye to friends. It's hard to make new friends. I'm in the process of trying to hook up with some girls in Panama City before I move there because I'm terrified of not making friends, but I know that I'll have to do it again. And so this is my first time, so it's kind of like, and hopefully after that, I mean, it probably won't get easier to move and leave people and stuff, but you'll kind of know what you need to do in order to, like, get your life rolling once you've moved to a new place. So, yeah. So be flexible. That's number 6. Number 7 is that you will live far from your family and your friends. That kind of ties in with being flexible. Like, you will not be living next door to your mama. Unless, I don't know your life, but unless your mom and dad can travel with you guys, bless them, bless you guys, because that is awesome. But that's not most cases. So, yeah, it's a struggle. Like, I've lived in the same, like, area within the same, like, 20 miles my entire life. I lived in the same house until I was 18. I'm 20 now, so I've only lived out of that house for 2 years. And I didn't even want to leave that house and, like, those friends in that neighborhood. And I wasn't even leaving my family. So I can't even imagine what it's going to be like when I move to Florida, but you will live far from your family, whether it's states away, a country away, hours away even. It could be in the same state, but it could just be, a 6-hour drive, which is, like, cool. You can go back home whenever you want, but you will live away from them, and you'll just have to be willing to fly back home or to drive home or to do whatever you have to do in order to see them. I know when you're out of the country, it's a lot harder. Things get a lot more expensive, so hopefully you can make it work. Maybe see him once a year. Have your husband or whatever save all his days so he can go home for like a whole month for like Christmas or something. But anyways, yeah, so you're gonna live far from them and it's gonna be hard, but that's why you have the friends that you're gonna make. So number 8 this is a big one, I think, because it's not if he's going to deploy, it's when. And so that's something like I haven't even really, like let sink in yet. I'm like, oh, okay, like, so like if you deploy, then what am I gonna do? And it's like, no. When he deploys, what the heck am I gonna do? And so you kind of need to figure that out rather sooner than later. Like if you're in a different state or something and he deploys, are you gonna go back home to your family? Like, do you have that opportunity or, flexibility to do that? Or are you going to tough it out for those 6, 9, 12 months and stay where you are and be with the friends that you just made or, whatever. So you just have to be prepared. It's really hard. I know I'm not even mentally prepared for that because I'm like, I'm barely about to get married. Like, I don't want to think about him leaving me already. So I totally get that. But it is something to think about and I'm definitely needing to start to think about that too. Okay, number 9. Is something I just dealt with the other day for the first time. And I've never heard of this in my entire life until the other day when it was happening to me. And so I was like, yo, I gotta throw this in there because you girls need to know, okay? So, number 9 is there are mean girls. And they will criticize you for everything. They will criticize you for your Instagram bio, which happened to me. I'm a dependa, is what they like to call you. Which means that you pretty much just live off of your husband, boyfriend, fiance's status, and you think that, like, you're the one that's in the military and that you get the paychecks and you just spend all his money and whatever. And even if you dress nice, some people might be like, oh, you're a dependo, when it's like, I have 3 jobs and buy this all myself. Me. So it's just, there's mean people. There's always people who are going to hate. And so I never knew that there was people out there that would do that or that there was a word for that. I was like, what? I had to look it up on Urban Dictionary because I was like, who? Me? What? So there are mean people, and they probably will jump at you, and they probably will be over social media because people don't like to, you know, come at you face to face. They like to hide behind screens and tell you whatever they want. So there are people who do that. So just be careful of that because, yeah, it happens. I never knew, I never thought anything like that was going to happen, but it does. So there that is. Now you know. Number 10 is that you will make new friends and have to leave the old ones over and over and over again, which is the same, like, just like with being flexible and with living away from your friends and family. Like, you will have to, like, I don't know, I'm about to come up with some type of system where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hop on Facebook, Instagram, all that, join these groups every time I move, and just, like, try to click with girls like that. And it sucks to a degree, like, oh, I have to leave all my friends, but, like, hello, you can go on a vacation and visit them. How fun is that? So I definitely think that's something you should know because, I mean, obviously, if you're moving all the time, you're going to have to say goodbye to them and you're going to have to go. And, I mean, and they're going to leave too. It's not just you saying goodbye. Like, you just get there, make a great friend, and 6 months later, she's gone. And so it's hard, but it's going to happen over and over and over again, and it probably won't get any easier, but you'll kind of get used to it, which is, like, kind of horrible, but I guess it is what it is. It's the military life. That's what I say about everything. I'm like, it's the military life. Like, what can you do? Nothing. You just have to go with it. And so, anyways, number 11 is you don't get to spend every holiday together. You will miss an anniversary, birthdays, Christmas. You will miss those things. I'm missing my fiance's birthday. It's in 2 weeks, and I'm here. He's in Florida. It is what it is. He did get to come home for Christmas, thankfully, but our anniversary was also January 12th. He wasn't here, so, you know, I mean, maybe once we're married it'll be better, but when he gets deployed, not if, when, he will miss everything. And it stinks too because, like, when you have kids and stuff, they're gonna miss milestones, and they're gonna miss birthdays, and they're gonna miss things like that, and it's hard. And I was just talking to one of my friends today, and she was like, that's why you have friends, because your friends become your family. And it's so true. Your friends become your family, and you guys eventually, you know, you'll be celebrating birthdays with your friends and stuff, and your kids' birthdays all together when your husbands are gone, or all that things. So it will be missed, and it is tough, but that's why you have other people around you, friends, and luckily for us, like, we have family 6 hours away, so, like, if I had a kid and it was one of their birthdays, I would just head 6 hours down so they could at least be with some family, but not everybody has that. You could always fly home too, so it's just, to be with family at least, to kind of cope with the fact that, like, your significant other isn't there, so there's like, options, but it's still hard. Okay, and then number 12 is don't lose yourself. And Allie had a whole video on this, and it was amazing, so go check it out if you haven't watched it. But don't lose yourself. Find your thing that you love. Have a little piece of independence, because when they get deployed, or when they go on training, or when they're busy at work and you don't have a job yet, and you're just chilling in the apartment or the house, like, you need to know what's up. You need to know, like, where the grocery store is. You don't want to depend on them for everything. You don't want to be a dependa. Whatever that even means. Psh. But you need to have your independence and, like, know things around you and know resources and use those things to help you, because, yeah, you don't want to get stuck in a situation where it's like, oh, he's deploying, and, like, I've never even, like, left the base. I shop at the BX, and, like, I don't know, joking, I don't know where the actual grocery store is. So it's like, figure things out, but don't lose yourself either. That's, like, a piece of it. Is make sure you have, like, your me time or your girl time, or, like, you do something you love to do, whether it's a job or a hobby or anything, like Allie said in her video. You just need to keep that piece of you, and that independence. The military does take a lot of things from you, like a lot of the things I just said, where it's like, you move a lot, you lose friends, you get friends, but just always have yourself, for sure. And maybe buy a dog. Okay, anyways. Number 13, this is the last one. This video is long. I like to talk, I know. But you are stronger than you think or know you are. And this is going to be tested. It's going to be tested in all the things I just said with the deployments and meeting mean people and just leaving friends and gaining friends and being away from family. Like, you are so much stronger than you know. And even if you're in like the long distance portion right now, you're not even with your significant other, living on a base or near his base, you are so strong for being in that relationship. I have friends and family around me all the time telling me, I don't know how you do it, girl. And it's love. That's it. It's love. But you are a lot stronger than you think and know. And sometimes people may not tell you that, but I'm telling you that. And you can cut back to this point in the video anytime you need me to tell you that you are strong and you will get through deployments. You will get through long distance. You will get through anything that comes your way. You will get through it because you are stronger than you know you are. And sometimes you may want to rip your hair out, but you will get through it because you are strong and you can do this. So those are 13 things that I think that you should know before you fall in love with your service member, or before you get married, or before you really like dive deep into this. These are things you need to know. So anyways, thanks for watching. If you stuck around for 21 minutes, I appreciate you because this was super long and I'm sorry. But yeah, so please follow our Instagram page. It'll be linked down below. It's at @chatlikeamilso_. And like, subscribe. We post videos every Friday. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.